Here's a quick question for you. Have you ever made a bad decision in your life before? Something which you later regretted later down the line, and you're thinking to yourself, why did I even think of doing that? Can you relate? If so, today's video is made for you, because I'm about to share with you the 3 bad thinking habits that will literally cost you in terms of your success. It'll cost you financially. It'll cost you everything in your life if you don't decide to let them go today. And you soon find out why. So most important thing is make a decision today to let them go. Are you ready? Okay, awesome. The first bad thinking habit you must remove from your life is tunnel thinking. Because let me ask you, have you ever seen a fly bang against a closed window before? Even though the window above it is open, but it keeps on doing the same thing that isn't working, and it keeps on repeating itself and banging against a closed window. And you're looking at it thinking, why doesn't it change its approach? Well, tunnel thinking, right? It keeps on repeating it. And what ends up happening to this fly if it keeps on doing the same thing it's always done? Truth be told, it ends up dying, right? Bit of an extreme example, but this is the reality of most human beings. Think about it. Why did Benjamin Franklin, why did he once say most people die at the age of 25, but they're not buried until 75? It's because they do not change what they do, how they think. And as a result, they end up repeating the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Einstein said how that's insanity. In fact, another great quote from Einstein was how he said, you cannot solve a problem from the same level of thinking as you used to create it. Because remember this, what's got you to here in your life is not going to get you to there. Let me ask you, if that was the case, do you need to adopt new beliefs if you want to get to that next chapter of your life? You bet. Because every single day you are repeating yourself unless you decide to do something that's totally different. And the only way you can do that is by changing your thinking, having an open mind, not a tunnel vision mind. So in order for you to change your life, you got to stop doing what you've always done. And you got to begin to open your mind to new possibilities. So one of the things that I did 12 years ago when I was starting my journey is I stopped this habit of thinking I knew it all. I decided to listen. And I decided to realize all a belief is a certainty of what something means to you. Because let me ask you, when you was a teenager, did you have different beliefs to now, to you today? Of course you did. All a belief is just a certainty of a feeling. You've just told yourself this is true, when in fact all these beliefs, it can be changed. So whenever you come across somebody who's ahead of you on your journey, never say to yourself, I don't believe that. You gotta ask yourself, what if I did believe that? What results will I get? Well, you'll start to get the results that they have. That's the power of just constantly having a growth mindset and not a fixed mindset. So the first bad thinking habit to remove in your life is tunnel thinking. The second bad thinking habit to stop is what's called primal thinking. Because this is something that we talk about a lot on our channel, which is in terms of how our brain is not designed to make you successful. It is not designed to make you happy. It is designed with one primary function, which is what? To help you to survive, right? And think about how fast the culture evolution has really advanced, especially in the last decades. Think about how we've got like a supercomputer that pretty much fits in our pocket called a phone. It wasn't too long ago when we was messing around with dial-up modem. How many of you remember that, by the way? If so, let me know in the comments box below. All of those sounds we used to hear when we were trying to connect to the internet and so forth, right? So think about this. Culture evolution has gone so fast, and yet biological evolution has gone so slow. That's why you got to begin to separate what's real from what's fantasy. Because your brain's tendency is to always see the worst case scenario in things because it wants to keep you safe. It's not going to see the best case scenario in things. Meaning, if you aren't careful, your brain will use you and you'll never get to use your brain. You'll always be stuck in your comfort zone, never doing something that's meaningful in your life, and always wondering, why am I stuck? Why am I not doing well in all different areas of my life? And that's because you are being used by your brain that only wants to keep you stuck, not taking any risks. I tell you, like it or not, life is one risky journey because nobody is going to make it out alive. Think about that. So you've got a decision to really make today. Do I want to make the most out of this precious time that I have left to live on this planet? Or do I want to just kind of try and play it safe? Tiptoe to an early grave? That is your choice. But for those of you who really want to squeeze every single drop out of this precious thing we call life, take control of your brain. Take control of your mind. Don't let it abuse you. Use your mind instead. So the second bad thinking habit to stop is what's called primal thinking. That's always going to be thinking in terms of negative things, outcomes, fear-based thoughts, and so forth. So that's the second bad habit. The third and final bad habit is what's called emotional thinking. Because let me ask you, how many times have you ever experienced this before? You got into an argument, or you got emotionally charged from something that happened that wasn't really positive, and you end up saying something to maybe your loved one, to your colleague, maybe your children, whatever it may be, and later on you're kind of regretting what you said. Can you relate? The reason why this happens is, remember this, when your emotions are high, intelligence is low. Write that in the comments box, just so you can affirm that out loud right now. When your emotions are high, your intelligence is low. That's why one of the thinking habits of the uber successful are that they're able to be able to dissociate themselves from their emotions and be able to see absolute clarity in terms of what they need to do. And that's very important, because the world's 1% are taking incredible amount of risk. If they are constantly thinking emotionally, they're going to be making irrational decisions. So that's why you got to begin to almost cut through this fog. This is what emotions do to you. It almost like makes it a really hazy sort of vision. Imagine you're stood right at the bottom of Mount Everest and there is fog covering every single step, right? You know where you want to get to, which is at the top of Mount Everest. But this is what emotions does, is it creates this fog so you can't really see exactly where you're really going, but you feel like this is the right thing. But because you're just basically feeling it, you're not really thinking what is the best thing to do. Okay, that's why one of the habits that I could quickly give you today is to label your emotions. What that does is it creates a perceptual position whereby you're no longer attaching yourself to your feelings, because there's nothing worse than saying to yourself, oh, you know what, I feel bad, therefore this thing must be bad. That's an emotionally backed decision, which is irrational. Okay, that's why what you got to do, whatever you're feeling right now, say to yourself, your name, so first name, which is your name, is feeling these emotions, such as I could say, Tim is feeling anger right now. And essentially, by you saying that out loud, you're dissociating yourself from the feeling, so you've got more clarity in terms of what's a logical move to make. Making sense, by the way. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you want to check out more videos to do with emotional control, we've got tons on our YouTube channel, Success Insider, so be sure to go check it out. Like this video if you like this video, and comment below if you want to see more videos like this, by the way, and comment below in terms of what you're going to take action on, which thinking habit most resonated with you, and what you're going to let go.